Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Nuclear Blaze. Nuclear Blaze is developed by Deep Night Games, published by Red Art Games, and releases on April 28, 2023 for a price of $15. It is available for pre-order at the time of recording this, so you can save about $1.50 depending on what country you're in. But yeah, let's dive in and talk about why this action pixelated game might be one of my favorite games to come out this year. I'm going to continue in and start off a couple levels in. Now, the way this game works is you're basically a firefighter, and you're going to end up earning and learning different abilities to go around stages, and ultimately you need to put out fires. The way you put out fires is by using your hose, and that hose is going to allow you to then navigate areas. So the way you're going to do it is you're going to slowly learn some powers and abilities, but there's also going to be fire that's constantly spreading. Now, what's cool about the game is it has a ton of customization in it. Since I've already beat the game once through and now I'm just running through the hold my beer mode, I basically just set myself up with different ways to just make it go quick for me, because you have to play the game on 2 different runs, regular through, and then hold my beer mode, which is just a harder difficulty. But you can go in and set some accessibility things just exactly the way you want, and it's nice to see a small, like, indie style ID game have these kind of features built into it. Now, for me, it's something that's not, you know, overly difficult to play, and it's really enjoyable and fun all at the same time. Now, you have a couple different ways when it comes to managing fire. As you can see here, one of the things that I'm going to progressively unlock is the ability to shoot my hose high up in the air. That's then going to let me get to fires that I couldn't normally get to. Now, through most of the game, you're going to find yourself barely having to deal with anything that quote-unquote can kill you, but the main premise of this game is going to have you doing a lot of stuff. Now, the fire will kill you, there's electricity, and then you'll eventually get into a kind of protagonist that tries to kill you, but you're then going to have to spend a lot of your effort trying to just get around that area while you're playing. Additionally, while you're playing, there are some cool collectibles, mainly in the name of just different things you can grab, but also these cool cats. Why? Because cats always try to get saved by firefighters in a tree, so the game kind of nods to that on its own. There's also tons of little letters and different things that you'll probably not find in one playthrough, and you may or may not need a guide to figure those things out, but that's stuff that's going to allow you to have more and more replayability in the game as you go. And to be honest, it's a part of the game that's actually really fun and enjoyable to experience. Now, as far as like the game length, that's probably one of the things that honestly for me, I wish was a lot longer than what it is. You're not going to have a game here that's going to last you like 10 hours. You're probably looking at about a 2 to 3 hour run, just depending if you struggle or get stuck in any locations. Or, you know, even in like the hold my beer mode, if you don't want to have like invincibility, quote unquote, you can then just, you know, adjust your settings however you want, but you're constantly just going to be playing with a fire that ultimately is unrelentingly going to spread all throughout the game. And that spreading fire is the thing that you have to deal with to be able to then proceed through the next level. Now, the game does have an interesting story where it's not really much a dialogue, it's more just a story that constantly goes and you hear throughout the game. Now, what I really enjoy the most about the game is, you know, the controls are extremely simplistic. You're basically just going to be moving around with one analog stick and also using your trigger to instigate fires, and that's pretty much the bare basic controls of Nuclear Blaze. It's also a game that's going to be super easy to pick up, and honestly, parents, if you're watching this and are curious, there's not a lot of negative content in this game, so it's extremely safe in my opinion for kids, so you don't really have to worry about, you know, the type of content this game is producing and not being able to be consumerly friendly for your children to play. You know, you're just going to be basically being a good guy, trying to go into some pretty crazy areas. Ultimately, it's like a nuclear facility that you're really just going throughout and trying to put out a fire and uncover a ever-growing story that develops. And that's kind of the cool premise of this game, is uncovering those stories and getting everything figured out while you're playing. Stuff that I really enjoy about the game is there's just a lot of like stuff that pulls you in the kind of layout of the different areas in the game are very unique, and you're not really going to encounter like rooms that are really repetitive. It's always going to be a new type of experience and always have new things for you to pull into the game. Now, as far as, like I said, the controls, I think they're super fluid and smooth to use, and understanding how this game plays is honestly very basic. You're just going to be moving around putting out fires, and then you have your kind of backpack here that tells you how much water you have in your tank. You'll get opportunities to get a better tank while you play, and then as you can see at the start of the game, it's going to introduce you with some slow upgrades that begin to get introduced over time. So that's something that's, helps out quite a bit when it comes to playing and getting through things. And it really is just going to come down to how you navigate and use your water to put out all the fires. And really controlling all these fires is the key status of the game that's going to allow you to really get things going. And what's cool is like in the different modes, like Hold My Beer mode introduces things that aren't really in the other modes. So you're getting new content with different difficulty levels that you play through. It doesn't feel like, oh man, I have to replay this whole game that I've already sat and grinded, 3 hours worth. No, you're going to get a little bit of a new experience. And, that's something that's definitely nice in the game, is being able to have a new kind of environmental thing going on in the game. Like these water pump generators, I don't recall them being in the very first part of the game. So it's a lot of new things that kind of hop in, and the game really allows you to cater the way you want to play to your style, and that's just a really good system for a game. Overall, as far as an opinion of buy, sell, pass, absolutely this game is worth picking up in my mind. It's honestly probably one of my favorite games of the year, and anybody who wants a good recommended game for under 20 bucks, I think this game is an absolute steal at the price it is now, and leaves a lot to look forward to with the type of content that's in it. It's just enjoyable. It's a nice paced game. When you're going through and playing, you can go through and select which levels you want to go to. You can go back if you need to find the cats. Everything's just really marked for you, and you get just the different stuff. So as you can see here, just running through, the base game has 23 levels, and you can always track and see how you've done everything. So like for me, I've still got some cats to hunt through and find, but it's super easy and enjoyable to just play a level for 10-15 minutes and then take a break if you want to too. So it's a nice pick up and pace style game as well. Outside of that, guys, that's my thoughts of Nuclear Blaze. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time.